What's up, guys? Dan from Forward Progress Madden. In this video, we're going to be doing kind of this year's version of last year's aggressive ball in the air trait video. Last year, I put out a video explaining how to stop um, face catching by having DBs that had the aggressive catch or aggressive ball in air trait, because last year it would cause the computer to go up and try to contest the ball in the air and help pick off some of those face throws. This year it's really not a big deal. This year the main complaint is QBs being erratic with the ball. So when this year first started, I was all about Ben Roethlisberger as far as regular head-to-head regular teams went. This was back when he was like a 92 or 93 overall, not a 98 like he is now. I just liked him because of, I thought that he had really good statistics, and I thought that his throw on the run rating, which we'll take a look at that, which is a 95. I thought his throw on the run rating was the reason that he did not miss throws all over the place. So for the longest time, I thought, okay, Roethlisberger is that quarterback that you don't always have to have your feet set to throw a ball on point, but that didn't really come out to be the reason, I don't think, after, many, many more games playing. I mean, you look at a guy like Russell Wilson, he throws the ball all over the field, and, he's very erratic in play now rosters, and he's got an 89 throw on the run. So I thought, it's not that high. Maybe it's just a threshold type of thing. It's probably still the throw on the run. Well, then I started playing Mutt, and I've been playing Mutt all year long and been streaming it a lot. So if you guys want to check me out on twitch.tv/forward progress Madden, and I also stream on the twitch.tv/EA Sports as part of the EA Sports stream team. Now, last night I was streaming on the EA Sports account, and Rex Dixon, the creative director for Madden NFL Football, came in and was in the chat, and he was answering questions. And it's really great to have the back and forth with Rex, being able to ask him questions and have the people in the chat asking questions. So definitely follow the EA Sports account if you guys have questions. He's in there, pretty often. He's been in there the last two times that I've streamed, and he's answered questions. And I said, hey Rex, I have a theory on quarterbacks. And I thought at first it was, I just thought that after a while, let's go and look at the next guy I wanted to use. We'll go and look at the player that I use in Mutt for my quarterback is Eli Manning. And I thought, okay, well, in Mutt, the Eli Manning item has 93 awareness. So we'll go ahead and look at his awareness here. And I thought, maybe it's his awareness rating. In regular rosters, Eli's only got an 86, so it's hard to show you here. But the item that I use, the Eli Manning, has 93 awareness. And he was throwing everything on point. And I'm like, okay, at that point I said, Eli Manning has to have that awareness is what causes Eli to throw the ball on point under pressure. And I asked Rex, I said, okay, Rex, this is what I've experienced this year. This Eli Manning overall is not as good as the Rodgers or the John Elway or the legend quarterbacks like the McNabb or the Culpepper that have come out. Why do I feel like he's so good? I mean, he never misses throws. And then Rex said, I asked him, I said, is it awareness thing? Because his awareness is so much higher than all the other quarterbacks. And Rex said, take a look at the traits. So I took a look at the traits, and I look at Eli Manning, and I'm like, okay, let's look. Throw a ball away, no. Sense pressure, oblivious. Forces passes aggressive. Throws a tight spiral, yes. Clutch, yes. Penalty, disciplined. Okay, so I'm looking at these, and I'm like, okay, well, the two things that stick out to me are he's clutch, so he's got the clutch trait, and then the other one is sense pressure, oblivious. And I'm like, okay, well, who's the only other quarterback I've liked this year? And I said, okay, well, that's Big Ben. So let's look at Big Ben. Look at his traits. And we look at him, and he's got, boom, sense pressure, oblivious, and clutch trait, yes. Now, I'm not saying that you have to have this tandem of things exactly. I think it's actually more sense pressure being oblivious. So what that means, for those of you who don't know, is when you're oblivious to pressure, it means that you are not you're not aware that there's pressure on you. You step up, you make the throws, and you're not really taking a huge hit to your accuracy ratings under pressure. Now let's compare that to let's look at Russell Wilson. Sorry about the loud car in the background if you guys can hear that. We look at the sense pressure. It's ideal. Now, all I know is that this is a different toggle than oblivious, and people complain about Russell Wilson all the time. Ideal would seem like a more positive word than oblivious. Like when you think somebody's oblivious to something, that's bad. But I think in Madden, it might be a good thing. That somebody is oblivious to the pass rush, meaning they're just going to make the throw. The throw is what it is, and it doesn't matter if Aldon Smith is coming off the backside edge from the blind side. It doesn't matter. He's just going to make the throw. Whereas Russell Wilson, Russell Wilson, any time a rusher is near them, that ideal thing causes him to throw the ball in the dirt or overthrow it or throw it to the cotton candy vendor. I don't know. I don't have an answer for you, but all I can tell you is that the two quarterbacks that I've liked this year are Eli Manning and Ben Roethlisberger. They both have the clutch trait, which may affect things, and they also both have the sense pressure being oblivious, which I think is probably the good thing. So let's go ahead and take a look at other quarterbacks that might be options for you that you didn't think about, whether you're a head-to-head player or a mutt player. Because a lot of people use that John Elway, and there's no real way to tell what his pressure sensing attribute is or his trait is, because you have to check these traits in the player management window off of mutt. So I'm guessing that these traits carry over to mutt just like the DB traits carried over last year. So take a look. Brady, he's got sense pressure ideal, and he's got the clutch trait. So Brady's good nonetheless. Roethlisberger we've already looked at. Rodgers, he's got ideal, and he's got the clutch trait. And I've seen people talk about Aaron Rodgers missing throws. Carson Palmer, sense pressure average, does not have a clutch trait. So you guys will have to test that Carson Palmer out. That new Football Outsiders Carson Palmer just came out. Try him out, see if he's missing throws left and right. Cam Newton, oblivious to pressure, does not have the clutch trait. So what I'm thinking is maybe Cam Newton is somebody that you can utilize in Madden Ultimate Team. Use one of those Cam Newton items. Maybe it's the Thanksgiving item. Maybe it's one of his other cards or his other items. Try him out. I think that oblivious, he's going to be a little bit more accurate than you think. People kind of scoff at the thought of Cam Newton being their quarterback, and they say, well, he's not accurate. But maybe it's better to have a less accurate quarterback that doesn't take penalties under pressure towards their accuracy ratings than to have a great quarterback in terms of ratings that has maybe an ideal trait, and when the pressure's on them, they make worse throws. So maybe you're just talking about, take that lesser quarterback because his ratings are his ratings even when he's under pressure, versus that great quarterback, which you don't know what type of hit they're going to take when they're under pressure. Wilson, where he looked at. Breeze, he's got ideal, he's got clutch. People say the Breeze is pretty accurate. Romo, trigger happy. I don't know what that means, but test him out. People say they like the 92 Romo, so maybe trigger happy. I don't know. Maybe that's a good thing. The Dalton. People talk about the Dalton all the time in Mutt, and they said that MVP Dalton that just came out is ridiculously good. So maybe trigger happy and oblivious are two things you want to look at. Matt Ryan, ideal. People talk about Matt Ryan missing throws all the time. Phillip Rivers, ideal. Now, I don't know a lot of people using that 24-hour Rivers, but go ahead and test him out. I want to know what you guys think about the ideal quarterbacks, because I haven't tested them. People say the Derek Carr is really good. He's got trigger happy. So, I don't know. Maybe these things are, the luck. Luck is trigger happy. And I've heard people say the MVP luck that just came out is really good. So maybe you're just wanting the oblivious and the trigger happy. Ideal for Peyton. Cutler, average. I don't know what that means. Well, that kind of makes sense. Some games I've heard people talk about the Jay Cutler, and they say some games he doesn't miss a throw. Other games he can't hit the broadside of a barn. Alex Smith, ideal. Stafford, trigger happy. And I did like the Matt Stafford, the Captain Stafford earlier in the year. Winston, oblivious. And I've heard people talk about the Winston and say that they like him. So I mean, we're kind of seeing some traits. I mean, no pun intended. We are seeing some traits here. Um, think about what people talk about when they look at these quarterbacks. Maybe it's the traits that matter. So I know this was kind of a boring video. Hopefully it's helpful for you guys, though. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, complaints, gripes, whatever, drop them in the comments below. This is Zan. Get in the lab, and good luck.